All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, glad to be here.
We're all huge fans of Elon Musk here.
Oh, for sure, who isn't?
I mean, the guy is just constantly doing fascinating things.
And so many different industries, too. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, from electric cars to space travel to brain-computer interfaces.
Even flamethrowers. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Haha. Good times.
Yeah, but seriously, though,
Right.
what really fascinates me is what makes him tick. You know?
Totally. Like, what drives him to take on these huge challenges?
Exactly.
So today we're going to try to get into his head a bit,
Reading deep dive.
into a 2013 interview he did with Khan Academy.
Super interesting conversation.
Yeah, it's a bit old, but it gives us a really good glimpse into his mindset.
Like right when SpaceX and Tesla were really starting to take off.
And you can really see his passion for these projects shining through.
Definitely. And you can also see how he approaches problem solving.
It's not just about making money for him, it's about solving big problems.
Right, like he's always focused on the future of humanity.
Yeah, even back in 2013, he was already talking about the importance of sustainable energy.
And becoming a multiplanetary species.
Like, colonizing Mars was not just a pipe dream for him.
He's already laying the groundwork with SpaceX.
But what's so interesting is that he's not just a dreamer.
Oh, definitely not.
He's also incredibly pragmatic.
Right. He's not afraid to make tough decisions.
Or to change course if something isn't working.
Remember how he initially wanted to focus on advanced capacitor research for electric cars?
Yeah, he thought capacitors could be a better solution than batteries.
At least potentially. But the tech just wasn't there yet.
So instead of getting stuck, he shifted gears to the internet.
Where he saw a clearer path to success with PayPal.
And that move ultimately gave him the resources to pursue his other passions.
Like SpaceX and Tesla.
So it's this combination of grand vision and practical execution that makes him so successful.
Exactly. He's not just thinking about the what, but also the how.
And he's not afraid to take risks.
Calculated risks.
Yeah, like remember how PayPal just exploded in its early days?
100,000 users in the first month.
It's insane.
And he spent a ton of money on incentives to get people to sign up.
Like $60 or $70 million?
It was a huge gamble, but it paid off big time.
It shows his willingness to invest heavily when he believes in something.
And his understanding of how to achieve exponential growth.
So we see this pattern emerging, big vision, strategic thinking, and a willingness to go all in.
But how does this translate to something like SpaceX, where the challenges are literally astronomical?
Well, it all started with a simple question: why haven't we sent humans to Mars yet?
That was his starting point.
And at first he assumed it was a lack of national will holding us back.
But then he realized it was more about perceived feasibility and cost.
Everyone thought space travel was just too expensive and too risky.
And this is where his ability to challenge assumptions comes in.
Even his own assumptions.
He wasn't satisfied with the status quo. He wanted to understand the root cause of the problem.
So he did a ton of research.
And came up with some pretty unconventional ideas.
Like trying to buy ICBMs from Russia.
Yeah, that was a wild one.
It didn't work out, of course.
But it shows his willingness to think outside the box.
And to explore every possible avenue.
And of course, SpaceX's first 3 rocket launches were failures.
Which is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it now.
Yeah, but he didn't give up.
He learned from those failures.
And iterated on his designs.
And eventually, he achieved what everyone thought was impossible.
Landing a rocket and reusing it.
It's incredible.
He completely revolutionized the economics of space travel.
And he did it by challenging assumptions and constantly innovating.
That's the Elon Musk way.
So we've seen how he tackles massive challenges like online payments and space exploration.
But what about something more down to earth?
Like revolutionizing the automotive industry with Tesla.
Tesla. This is where his long-term vision really shines.
He wasn't just building a car company, he was trying to accelerate the transition to sustainable transportation.
And he knew that to do that, he couldn't just focus on building the best electric car.
He had to change the entire industry.
So he partnered with established car manufacturers.
And shared Tesla's technology with them.
Which is pretty counterintuitive when you think about it.
But he knew that the bigger goal was more important than short-term profits.
He was playing the long game.
And it's a strategy that seems to be working.
The automotive landscape has changed dramatically since that 2013 interview.
Tesla is now a major force.
And the entire industry is moving towards electrification.
So we see these consistent themes in Musk's approach: audacious goals, strategic thinking, and a willingness to make bold bets.
And it'll be interesting to see how these themes continue to play out in his future endeavors.
Definitely. But for now, we need to take a quick break.
We'll be back in a few minutes to dive even deeper into the mind of Elon Musk.
Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. So we've been talking about Elon Musk's grand vision
His willingness to challenge the status quo.
and his knack for achieving the seemingly impossible.
But what are some of the specific strategies he uses to make those things happen?
Yeah, like what are the tools in his innovation toolbox, so to speak?
Well, one of the key principles he emphasizes is first principles thinking.
First principles thinking.
Yeah, it sounds kind of technical,
It does.
but it's actually a pretty simple concept.
Okay, so break it down for us. What is first principles thinking?
Basically, it's about stripping away assumptions and getting down to the fundamental truths.
So instead of just accepting the way things have always been done,
You question everything.
you ask why.
Exactly. Why does it have to be this way?
Is there a better way?
And what are the core principles at play here?
I see. So it's like taking things apart to understand how they really work.
Yeah, like instead of just looking at a car and saying, okay, it has an engine and wheels.
You actually dig into the engine and figure out how combustion works.
Exactly. You break it down to its most basic elements
And then you can start to think about new ways to put those elements together.
to create something better, something more efficient, something innovative.
Interesting. So how does Elon Musk actually use this first principles thinking in his work?
Well, we see it everywhere.
Give us some examples.
Like with SpaceX. Remember how we break down the cost of a rocket to its raw materials?
Yeah, he found that the materials themselves were surprisingly cheap.
Right. It was the manufacturing process that was so expensive,
And that led him to focus on improving the efficiency of rocket production.
which ultimately allowed SpaceX to dramatically reduce the cost of space travel.
Wow, that's a great example of how first principles thinking can lead to breakthrough innovations.
And we see it with Tesla, too.
How so?
Well, instead of just trying to improve existing battery technology
He went back to the fundamentals of battery chemistry.
and challenged his engineers to come up with completely new ways to design and manufacture batteries.
And that led to some of the most advanced electric car batteries in the world.
That's all about asking the right questions.
And not being afraid to challenge conventional wisdom.
Exactly.
But first principles thinking is just one tool in Elon Musk's arsenal, right?
Oh, yeah, he has a whole bunch of them.
What else?
Well, he's also a big believer in rapid iteration and continuous improvement. He doesn't just come up with an idea and then stick with it no matter what,
He's constantly testing and refining his ideas.
based on feedback and data.
So it's like a constant cycle of build, test, learn, and repeat,
Exactly, and he encourages his teams to move fast and break things.
which sounds a bit chaotic.
It can be, but it's also incredibly effective,
This allows you to identify problems early on.
and to quickly adapt and improve your designs.
So it's about embracing failure as a learning opportunity.
Yeah, he's not afraid to fail.
Remember how SpaceX's first 3 rocket launches were failures?
Exactly, but instead of giving up,
They analyzed the data, figured out what went wrong,
and use those learnings to improve their designs.
and eventually they achieved success.
It's that resilience that sets him apart.
He's not deterred by setbacks.
He sees them as opportunities to learn and grow.
So rapid iteration, continuous improvement, and embracing failure are all key parts of his approach.
Definitely.
But it can't all be about just technical innovation, right?
Oh, of course not.
You also need the right people to execute those ideas.
Absolutely. He understands the importance of attracting and retaining top talent.
Like assembling a team of all-stars.
Right, and he's willing to go to great lengths to get the best people.
Even if it means poaching them from other companies.
He's created a work environment that's known for its intensity,
And it's long hours.
but also for its sense of purpose and mission,
People are drawn to his vision
and his ambition.
and his willingness to take on challenges that others might deem impossible.
He's offering them a chance to be part of something truly groundbreaking.
And to work alongside some of the brightest minds in the world.
So it's not just about the money,
It's about the opportunity to make a real difference
to push the boundaries of human achievement.
and to be part of something bigger than yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got first principles thinking, rapid iteration, embracing failure, and attracting top talent.
What else?
Is there anything else that sets Elon Musk apart as an innovator?
Well, he's also known for his hands-on leadership style. He's not just sitting in his office giving orders.
He's down in the trenches with his teams.
Literally.
He's getting his hands dirty.
Remember that story about him tracking down a missing $3 USB cable at the Tesla factory?
Wait, he actually did that.
Yeah, it's a small detail.
But it shows how much he cares about every aspect of his businesses.
And how involved he is in the day-to-day operations.
He's not afraid to roll up his sleeves and get to work.
And he's always looking for ways to improve things.
Even if it's something as seemingly insignificant as a $3 USB cable.
It's that attention to detail
And that relentless pursuit of excellence.
that sets him apart,
So it's this combination of big picture vision and hands-on execution.
that allows him to achieve such remarkable things.
And it's something we can all learn from.
Whether we're trying to build a company
Or just trying to be more innovative in our own lives. Okay, so we've been deep in the weeds with Elon Musk's approach to innovation.
first principles thinking, rapid iteration, all that good stuff.
But let's zoom out a bit now.
Look at the bigger picture.
What's his lasting impact?
Yeah, like what does it all mean?
How has he changed the world?
Well, for one thing, he's become this kind of icon
Right.
for bold, ambitious thinking.
Like he's shown us what's possible.
If you're willing to push boundaries and defy conventional wisdom,
He's inspired a whole generation of entrepreneurs.
to think bigger and to not be afraid to take risks,
Remember when SpaceX landed that rocket?
and then reused it,
It was like something out of a science fiction movie.
but he made it a reality.
And in doing so, he completely changed the game.
He showed that private companies could compete with governments in space.
And he opened up a whole new era of space exploration,
And then there's Tesla.
which has revolutionized the automotive industry.
A decade ago, nobody took electric cars seriously.
They were seen as slow and boring.
And expensive.
But Tesla changed all that.
They made electric cars sexy
And fast.
and desirable.
They showed the world that sustainable transportation could be cool.
And in the process, they forced the entire industry to shift gears.
Now every major car manufacturer is scrambling to catch up.
And it's all thanks to Elon Musk and his relentless pursuit of a better future.
So yeah, I think it's safe to say he's had a pretty big impact.
Definitely.
But it goes beyond just the companies he's built,
It's also about the ideas he's championing.
like sustainable energy
And space exploration.
and artificial intelligence,
He's forcing us to confront some big questions.
about the future of humanity.
And the role of technology in our lives.
He's making us think about what kind of world we want to create.
And what steps we need to take to get there.
It's not always comfortable
Sometimes he challenges our assumptions.
and pushes us outside of our comfort zones.
But that's a good thing.
We need people like him
To shake things up.
and to make us think differently.
Because the challenges we're facing as a species,
They're not going to solve themselves.
we need bold visionaries
like Elon Musk.
to lead the way.
So what are the key takeaways?
From all of this,
I think the biggest one is to dare to dream big,
don't be afraid to set audacious goals.
even if they seem impossible.
Because as Elon Musk has shown us,
Anything is possible.
if you're willing to work hard.
And to never give up. So that's it for our deep dive into the mind of Elon Musk.
We hope you enjoyed it.
And that you learned a thing or two.
About innovation.
And about the power of human ingenuity.
Thanks for listening.
And keep dreaming big.